We are live. All right. We did it.
Hello.
We're live again. Very cool. How are you doing, Franco?
I
Right.
am doing very well. I uploaded another video this morning,
Oh,
a
yeah, I
video
saw
on
that.
Friday. I'm just doing like one video every 2 to 3 days. I'm just going nuts,
That's good. That's
having
good.
fun.
That's the way to go. I think I saw that you have a couple of hundreds of visits on some of your videos. I saw one with 400 visits, something like that.
Yeah, the one with the cloak blew up. It has like 500 visits right now.
Oh, that's very nice.
I
You
don't know.
have
I don't know what happened on that one, but it is what it is.
Well, that's the good outliers that you can actually investigate. I love YouTube in the terms of there is no other platform that will give you so much feedback about what you're doing. You can actually check out the source of all your visits. You can check out, like the one that I found out that is the best is they have, because this is how this thing works. The actual algorithm is going to choose a couple of 10, 20 people, and it's going to show that thing in their feeds. And if they actually click on it and engage, the actual algorithm is going to say, well, I'm going to, now that they actually like it, I'm going to show it to 10 more people. And you actually see, let me see if I can find it here, for my other channel, that the one that is going to look much, much better in that sense. So let me go here. There we go. Take a look at this. So if you get the statistic for every video, for any video in general, you're going to see that you have your visualizations, right? But the one that you really want to see is I have it in Spanish. This should be like engagement, right? So you can see
Yes.
that this thing comes like in stairs. When it's a lot earlier, you can actually see that it takes like every hour, it will try to promote it again and show it to more people. You can actually see the little stair there. Like you get like this little hump and then it stays there. And you get another little hump and then it stays there until, at some point in time, it actually starts engaging. So the actual stair comes a lot shorter intervals. So you can see that it grows, stays a couple of minutes there, and then it grows again, and then it stays a couple of minutes again, and then it grows again. So it goes and goes until, there's going to come a time, let me show you another one, where the thing is going to simply stop. So I need to go here, and I need to go here. I can actually show this stupid thing because it's better this way. And let me show you one with a couple hundred visits like this one. It has 600 visits. These are short, so you know. Let me show you the statistic for this one. So it is really small here. Sorry, you need to actually see this one. And it will come a time where it is going to flat out. And then it's not going to keep growing anymore. So what time is this? So 4 days, it will simply stop showing it to anybody else. Like by this time, it is just people who will actively go into your profile and actually seeing it there. You can see that it completely dies. Like in real, YouTube will not want that thing being shown to anyone anymore. But it's great. So this is the time that you really want to investigate like what actually happened. And mostly it's about where is it? Where is that? Nope. It should be in the statistics. Oh, nope. Is it this one? I know that it's here. Where is the percentage of clicks? That is what you really want to know, because it will let you know how many people actually click on the video after they saw it in the feed, because the actual feed is what drives the full thing. You can see that 80% of the people who actually watch this clip was because it was presented to their feed. So they're going to be inside YouTube and they're going to recommend that it's going to be somewhere in their feed so they can actually click it. Or maybe they're, scrolling by and that thing is going to appear. Now, from the moment it appears, how many people actually, stay, that is the actual good one. But where is it? I think that it shows it for this one. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that is the most important one, the one that will show you how many people actually saw the thing and how many people actually click on the thing. And it's going to be this relationship between your views and your actual show. So, for example, at this point, let me check it out. At this point, it was shown 125 times, and oh yeah, but no, it's not this one. Maybe it's interaction. I can't remember which one is it. But yeah,
Oops.
it's great. Bless you. It's great because oh yeah, I guess it's this one. Like I got an actual interaction of 32%. So this is what actually will differentiate a good video from a bad video. So people that actually will stay. So 32 is not that bad. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that actually skip everything. And for example, this one got 600 views and it got like 32% of interaction. But if you check one that is really, really bad, and I have a few, I have some with 60 views. I have some with, I got this one with 30 views. Sometimes what it happens is that I would show logo, and the algorithm hates logos or brands. They would think that you are promoting something. So you're going to see that in this one. If I actually go to the statistics and you go to interaction, 11%. So this was like absolutely skipped by people, or it wasn't shown too much. So you can see that it was shown 6 times, 24 times, and then it flattens completely. These are views from people who actually went to the profile and actually check it out. So it was shown just, the first 10 hours, and that's it. Then it was not shown anymore. Yeah, so that is what it is. So yeah, investigate a little bit, what happened there. And this is another thing that is important. The more retention that you get, the more the algorithm will suggest it to more people. So if the interest die really soon at the beginning of the thing, it is not going to be shown too much. Like if we check the other one, you can see that this one got people a little bit longer. Which one? The 600. Here it is.
Yeah, longer time interested.
For sure. Yeah, look at this. So the retention was much better. And the percentage of clicks was also really good. All right. So I got things to tell you. Let me
Tell me.
Take a look at this. All right, minimize this. Take a look at this. So I want today to talk a little bit about performance in Unreal Engine. And I got the idea from you. Like you told me last week that you acquire a new CPU. And I was thinking, in the economy that we are right now, one of the hardest things to actually find is a cheap, new or modern, GPU. And mostly because many of the brands have chosen, and again, this is mostly because of how hard it is to actually produce chips. There are actively not producing older video cards. So they just want to push whatever is new and stay with that. And now they need to actually split their production with their AI products, right? And at the same time, we're having the same crisis that we have with Bitcoin mining. But now people want it for, AI and AI, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we are in the 1 to 10 scale. We are fucked at that, and that is how it is. It is simply, there is no other word. We're not going to be able to acquire the new stuff, and the old stuff is completely. So there, for example, NVIDIA is not producing any 30-somethings. Those are already gone. They're not going to produce it anymore. Neither the 40s. So they're just producing 50s, and they're producing like very small amount of them. So the actual prices are sky high, and it's the manipulation of prices It's horrible. So I got thinking, and I was like, all right, I do have an actual good GPU. It's not horrible. It's a 3060 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So I was like, yeah, this one is not that bad. So I whenever I actually, let me see if this will actually load. I'm going to load first the asset soup because this thing tends to crash for many particular reasons. And I was thinking like, well, maybe what I should do is to just improve a little bit my CPU because that will allow my GPU to actually stretch its legs a little bit more. And maybe I'm going to have like a bit of better results in Unreal Engine. And you wouldn't believe the amount of improvement that I have.
How
Like,
true that was.
it's incredible. I couldn't believe because you know what? It was a very cheap upgrade because it was just a little bit more memory. Because for some reason I was stuck with 32 gigabytes of RAM. At some point, like maybe I was low on money, or I thought that 32 was gonna be like I had this idea in my head, like you are an instructor, so you should actually have like the normal people kind of computer. You don't want to have like a spaceship because then you're gonna load something there and people are not gonna be able to follow, right? So I was like, I should actually work with the machine, with the common, people machine. And that's why I was stuck with 32. But I can tell you that right now, everything new that Unreal Engine is actually pushing out, the 32 gigabytes is very low. Like I'm always hitting the ceiling of the 32. And by that time, then you're completely screwed because you're going to start dumping or swapping RAM memory into your hard drive. And then it's everything downhill from there. Like it's going to really grind to a halt. So let me show you. This one, you can see that I'm running an incredible 100 FPS in this, but this is not the one that I want. I want to actually open the big map. And I actually took videos of how my prior CPU was running and how this one, and we're going to be checking out the difference with this one, you wouldn't believe. So the actual CPU that I got, let's actually run it here. So it's going to be an AMD. I think the actual comparison is around here. Here it is. So this is the actual comparison between the two GPU. The one that I had, so I actually had an AMD Ryzen 5 3600X. So this was very cheap at the time, but it was very, very powerful. In fact, this one that I got has the exact same core technology. It just have a little bit more. And because it is the 9 edition, right? You're going to see that the 5 and the 7 are not that dissimilar. The actual cores are going to be exactly the same. So you might get simply more cores, and that's it. That is the main difference between 5 and 7. But with the 9th, these one actually have 64 megabytes of RAM per core as cache, which actually differentiate them as a single core, among the rest. And you can actually see the thing right here. So you can see that this is from users. Where is it? Here it is. This thing is in Spanish. Can I actually change it to English? Here it is. Good. So now we are speaking the lingo. All right, take a look at this. So this thing, when you count all the different cores, it's a ripoff, right? Because, this thing has double the amount of threads and cores. So, of course, it's a lot faster, right? And this one, the new one, is just a tad faster, but with overclocking. So the 5600s, you should actually overclock it. And I actually had it overclock and cap it at 4.4. So it was never ramping up. It was always, I was wasting tons of electricity on it, dissipated as heat. But you can see that this thing runs really fast for a very cheap, for $100 CPU. This one is just a tad faster. And I think that is mostly because of these, the L2 cache. This one has double the amount. And the L3 cache, it also have double the amount. So I think this makes the complete difference. And you can actually see it down here in the benchmarks. Of course, multi-threaded is going to be, this has absolutely no competition. But the one that really stands up, it is the single core. This is supposed to be the exact same core. Like it has everything exactly the same, a bit faster, right? But you can see that, it's a lot faster in reality, as a single core. Now, let me show you this. This is where it's incredible. Let me actually check out how did I measure. So I'm going to be opening the actual video that I took. So this is also a thing that I'm going to show you later, like the actual amount of time that it takes to register all the different actors and load up the world partition for the first time. So that took like tons and tons of time. And here it is. So I'm here. I don't know if you got this message on your side. Sometimes you get that resizing virtual pool. So that is a new technology that actually if you have it on, that thing is going to continuously changing the size of your virtual pool. At some point, it's supposed to stop, because if you already go about your stuff, it will keep on increasing until it finds like a good amount of memory, and then it should not run anymore. You can actually simply go here and turn that off. You search for fixed tile pool size, and you turn this on, so these resizing virtual texture pool doesn't continue doing that. The actual result, you can actually fix it, set it fixed here on this fixed pool, and this is going to be different for different platforms, so but yeah, this is what it is. Now take a look at the actual speed. So my guess, let me actually try to do this. So my screen percentage was 68. Let me see if that is the case here, because that will change if you actually change the size of your viewport. And I want to do like a very good comparison. Yeah, it's exactly 79. So it's it's just a little bit bigger. So this will actually give you the original resolution. This is how, the new virtual, the temporal super resolution works. And that is, it will actually have like an initial resolution from which all the calculations of the MIP maps, the LODs, the Nanite tessellation, and the, what else? Yeah, MIP maps. Yeah, everything about Unreal Engine, and the lumen scene calculations also. It's made originally with these, and then with this resolution, and then temporal super resolution will span like in a DLSS kind of fashion, right? Or an FSS kind of fashion. So you must actually make sure that your initial resolution is the same if you want to, compare pairs with pairs. So look at this. Let me play this so you can actually see. I'm running 27 frames here. And right now, if I hit 1, oh, no, you know what? I must actually go a little bit. Yeah, this is it. So I'm running 27, right? Granted, this is like the easiest of all the contents, because this is like the oldest one. This was released on original 5.0 OG, right? So this you would expect that has the biggest increase in optimizations, because it has the original. So the technology used in this one, which is mostly Nanite, you can see that there is no transparencies here. So everything was actually built for Nanite. So Nanite has improved a lot. So we're not going to get, let me show you. So I'm running 27, and this is with my old CPU. If I now jump to this one and do this, I'm running 55. So
Twice.
more than twice.
Yeah.
51
27.
would be twice. 57, almost 57 here. So it's crazy. And you know that Unreal Engine actually runs on one core. So you could have 12 core, 24 cores like I have right now. When Unreal Engine is actually calculating Nanite and all the actual game thread, it's actually running on one thread of your computer. That is simply how the nature of, there are new structures that are created that, for example, mass. I don't know if you remember that one. They use it in the Matrix,
Yeah,
where
it's been a long
the
time.
simulation of AI, that thing actually is multi-core. That is the first thing inside Unreal Engine that is multi-core. For the rest, everything runs on only one core. So you will actually see the difference between one core, of your computer. So that difference that we were watching here is not represented in the actual results. So this thing from, with these Cinebench results, it's not twice, it's not double, right? But in fact, it's actually more than doubling this thing. Now, the big thing here might be the actual unit graph. The actual unit. So if we check this out, we're going to see that I was very draw bottlenecked before, and I'm still. I can see that my GPU is actually not free. In fact, this is weird how this happened. You have lengthier draw thread instead of your GPU thread. And I believe that is because of the actual DLSS. So it actually takes more time, but then magically you can actually make your GPU to run faster because, of the actual stretching of the pixels, right? So it's weird that I'm running 17 milliseconds on draw and 16 milliseconds on GPU. So I'm still heavily draw bottlenecked. So that means that my CPU, I should have a faster CPU for CPU for my GPU. If I go here, I can actually see that, this thing is not being 100% used. So that means that this is what is actually holding it back. It looks like this because it is actually using, it's weird. It actually uses only one core, but normally it doesn't use the same core every time. It will jump randomly. That's why you get a little bit of use on all your different cores. And this is actually one core, but spatiated, through all of these. So nothing is being fully used. I'm guessing that if you add up all these things, one of these cores would be like completely max. And sadly, I don't think that you can get faster than this. Like right now, this thing is running 443 gigahertz. And I think what was the actual maximum that says here? 4.8. Yeah, never. This thing is throttling heavily before it actually gets to that, for sure. That's why it's staying there. Now, what about the temperature? That would be a good measure. There's a couple of things that I still need to fix. Oh my God. Come on. No, here and here. The memory. I patched the BIOS so I could actually install the newer versions, of the. But you can see that the memory, my RAM memory, is running on 2400s, and there are actually 3200s. So I need to go to the BIOS and force it. I don't know why this Tomahawk. I have a Tomahawk Max. It loves to run at this speed. I had the same issue when I installed my older, when I had 32 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I need to actually force it to actually run. It says like overclocking, but it's not overclocking because it's actually using the particular speed of the RAM stick. But I need to fix this. So these might have a little bit of an influence on this. But look at this. This thing is throttling back. If that thing is running 70, 80 centigrades, I'm thinking that the throttling is at 80. So this thing is actually slowing down so it doesn't cross, this temperature. So what people are saying is that if you underclock it, and I don't know if you have used this before, this is the actual AMD application. It's called Ryzen Masters. And with this, you can actually do like a game mode overclock and stuff like that. So what it does is it will undervolt it, but keep it always at peak, not going down. So it doesn't need to ramp up when you ask for it. Like instead of going like very, small step until it gets, to 100%, you can always cap it at 100%, but you actually undervolt it. So you never get these, well, where this thing, goes up to 444, 42, and then you can see that, if I start moving around and doing stuff, it will start, going up and down, up and down, up and down. So that is what you don't want, and that is simply because it has too much, juice on it. So I was very, very happy with these results. Like I'm having 60 FPS in this one. Let me show you what I was having on these. Yeah, I had to actually move myself a little bit up. 29. Oh no, this is not that view. Keep going. Yeah, actually, I had to actually, the bookmarks were underground for some reason. So yeah, look at these. So, yeah, I went by very fast. So go back just a little bit. There it is, 28. Now I'm running 60. It's crazy. It is $100 more of a GPU. That's what it is. 100 and change. But it's just $100. And I'm more than duplicated my FPS with the same GPU. I actually added the RAM because, yeah, these new, huge maps actually need that. You can see that I'm not over it, but I'm really close. This was happening with my 32. It was always around 30. But if you start doing working, like adding textures or moving things, creating materials, that thing will, pass over those 32 very fast. So I was always on the brink. So I was like, yeah, I need those 64 because if you go over it, then yeah, it's game over. You need to restart Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine, it's not that it's bad at actually doing garbage collection. It is just that I learned that actually cleaning the RAM takes the same amount of time as filling it up. And what you really want is to fill it up, right? Because that is what is really important. So Unreal Engine will keep all the crap until you need that space. And at that time, it's going to remove crap to put new information in. So only if you make it, right, it will actually take out the trash to bring new pixels, new information into your RAM. And that's how it works. So I'm really pleased. Look at this. This thing is running 66. Oh, so sorry. You know what? I'm not comparing exactly the same. So let me go back. It should be cinematics, and it should be global illumination on high. Again, it's not going to be a huge, change. Let's go back here. Yeah, 47. So it's not 50, but it's 40. Yeah. And this one is 51, and it used to be how many? Yeah, 28. Like I'm still very, very ahead, right? Almost double, right? So I'm loving every minute of this little upgrade. And I wonder if you have the same change, because you didn't change the core, you just added more cores. So how is this going for you?
I didn't test anything prior to the installation, so I don't really know. I can notice that Unreal opens 1 minute earlier, at least on the project that I was currently using. So it takes one less minute to open the project.
All right.
So I also see that there's less
Stuttering?
less crashing.
Oh, let's crash.
It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit more stable. It's faster by throwing the metahuman into the world. So it is doing a couple things better, but I didn't have such a huge test like you did. The other thing that I didn't do was I didn't really jump that much on my end. I went from a Ryzen 7 3700X to a Ryzen 7 5800 XT, which is not that huge of a leap. It is like 5 years of a difference in
Right.
technology, That's why I updated. But I wanted to do just a small update. The main issue I was facing with the 3700 is that it was cooking itself.
Right.
It was going to 98 degrees on Unreal, just on Unreal,
Oh,
while it was
that's way too much. So you have
yeah.
Ryzen 5. Which one is it?
So mine is a 7 5800 XT, the
All
correct
right.
one.
Let me set this one. Oh, come on. So it is Ryzen 7. That's the new one.
The new one is
50,
7 5800 XT.
5800 XT.
Yeah.
And the one that you had was a 5? No, it was a 7.
It was a 7 3700.
3700X
Yeah.
or without
No,
X?
no X.
All right. So let's see the comparison. So yeah, in terms of money, it says that this is the winner, so it's really cheap. The one that you had doesn't have a price, but this one says that this is cheaper. Imagine that.
Yes. I don't think you put the 3700U there. I don't know what U is.
Why did it actually add the U?
I mean, just a small mistake.
I think it
It's
doesn't
adding it
have.
automatically.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
have the
maybe
comparison
there's
with the
no.
non-U.
Yeah.
But what is U? Let
What
me
is
see.
U?
Yeah.
That's the
Let me
question of a
actually
lifetime.
do this. I'm gonna. Yep. Oh, it's actually doing the. No, this is wrong. What about. No, it just found the U, not the non U.
Maybe I am
What?
Ryzen 7. Maybe it was a Ryzen. I don't think it was a 5. I have it. I have it on me. Let me look at it for a second. I have it on me. I'll be right back.
All right. I want to just check out,
Right there.
the. Because.
It's on. It is a. Come on. Come with me. All right. So I'm looking at the actual box here because
All
I
right.
have it with me. It is a Ryzen 7. Oh, that's why. It's a 37X, 3700X.
All right. All right. That one actually had a comparison. So
Yeah, because the
20
other one probably doesn't exist.
$20 difference. So
Yeah.
you're saving 1 minute for $20. This is crazy. This is totally
Yeah,
bonkers.
also, the comparison winner, it's saying that the other one is
this
better.
benchmark? 78 more points than the X one. I know that the XTs are much better. They have like 4 more cores and stuff like that than the original ones.
It's the consumption of the energy source. What do you call that in English? I don't know. It's the energy. The thing is, it's eating twice as much in electricity.
Oh,
That's
all
why
right.
the comparison is going that crazy.
All right, let's see. I think that information is around here. Yeah, look at that. It's not twice, but it's almost twice. It goes from 65 watts to 105 watts.
To 105. Okay, 40 more. Yeah.
Look at that. But you can see that the socket is the same. The actual semiconductor size is the same. The chipset is the same. It's just more, you still have the same amount of cores.
Yeah.
And this is incredible because it's the same core with overvolting, so it runs slightly faster. You have the same cache on everything. So even with this is great about technology. Like it is the exact same thing, but because it is newer, it runs faster. So look at the single one is amazing. Look.
Yep.
And it actually runs so much better, right? On your side.
Yeah, it does. It's running faster. I also bought a water cooling system with it.
Right.
For temperatures, it's newer like the other one. The poor old guy has been alive for 4 years, running my computer since the days of COVID. Just needed a rest. Needed to go down like a champ.
If I just tell you what it happened to me, Did you
get it correct? Oh no.
I turn it off. I'm gonna open the city sample next. So I actually unscrew the fan with the cooler, and it was stuck to the CPU, and I was like, this is weird. So I tried to wiggle it, and it didn't budge. It was like very, very stuck. So I was like, yeah, I have another CPU. I can actually. So I pulled it off, and actually took the CPU out of the socket with the socket closed.
Oh no.
I was like, hopefully I didn't got like any of the little thingies stuck, like turn off of the CPU.
Yeah.
I took a picture and I perused the picture, right? I didn't saw any. But yeah, the actual paste was
Yep.
completely dry. It was like cement at that point. So yeah, now I'm thinking, and it's not a cheap one. It's a Corsair one. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like a copy of it, not the original one, but it was like a Corsair kind of thermal paste. But yeah, that thing was dry as a bone. So I apply a little bit more to the new one, but I'm gonna keep on maybe every 6 months actually making sure that it's there. So the city sample, it's opening up. Now I want you to see this because now this is the new problem for me. What is this? My hard drive is, capped at 61 kilobytes per second. So is that good? Is that bad? Why is fully
Well, it's 100% because it's opening the project.
right?
What
So
I did prior to getting the new CPU was buying a 1 terabyte SSD.
right,
So I'm running video games and Unreal and projects in the SSD. So it opens possibly theoretically
faster.
faster than just using
So
a hard drive.
look what I did for this one. I actually now I had before projects in D and E, and I actually because the E is it's connected externally, so I was maybe that one is a little bit slower, and this one is an NVMe that is inside, but connected to a PCI
The motherboard.
slot.
Yeah.
It is not on the actual motherboard; it's in a PCI slot.
Oh,
But,
okay.
it should be fast enough. The one that is faster, I think, is this one because this one is actually in an NVMe socket in the motherboard. But the motherboard only have one socket for NVMe's. And this is a 1 terabyte. This is 1 terabyte. And the one external is also a 1 terabyte. Finally. So what I'm thinking is this thing is still like this, but you don't see the memory go up. So it's like doing something in the disk, like expanding something. I know this so far. So I know that Unreal Engine is shipping all their examples pre-cook. So you can see that you're not going to be seeing any shader compilation, and that is because they actually provide the shader compile, but in a compressed way. So I think this is why it takes too long to actually turn on, because it needs to unpack all the DCCs to disk to be able to actually open it up. You can see that this thing is still, doing something in the background. The hard drive is dying on me. The memory is not rising up, so it's not actually moving stuff from the hard drive to the memory. So I think this is my next enemy to vanquish. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. No, you can see that now it's kind of stopping. Very soon it's going to flat. Right, let me open this thing up. Let's open. I tested on the small city, so I'm going to open the small city. And because I opened these this afternoon, it should actually open really fast. I think all the shaders and everything is already prepared. Because now we don't compile, we now prepare shaders on top of the compile. Yeah, but that's how it is. So let me show you the dreadful performance that I had before. Like all this time, you're gonna see that what you see here, this is the video, so you know. What you see here is just HLODs. So this is just HLODs. This has not open up the world partitions and load in the zone. So from this time, from 5 minutes until there, 12 minutes, so 8 minutes, 8 full minutes, loading the region. And granted, I started deleting it because I was running out of space in my hard drive. Yeah, I was deleting from the vault. Like the examples, the epic examples are not in Fab. You need to get them and create a project from the launcher. So look at this. So this was, let me show you. I actually had to create a few bookmarks because this thing comes without bookmarks. So let me show you. At some point, here it is. Did I? Oh, wait. Do I have? No, this is not the one. So, do I have the actual measurements here? Oh, here they are. Look at this. I was running 12 FPS. And this was like a consistent across, no matter from where I was looking at this, I was running 12 FPS, 13 FPS at most, right? Now you're going to see the big, huge difference as soon as Unreal Engine loads the DEM map and my hard drive actually don't explode in the process. Look at this. Yeah, it was like everywhere. Everywhere I would have 11, 12, 13 FPS, no matter from where I'm looking at this thing. This actually, if I'm not mistaken, is running now 30 FPS or about 30 FPS, like 26 to 30 FPS, depending on from where you see it. So again, double the performance and the amount of money to get a new CPU. And there are, vast options out there to actually improve your CPU. And if you're lucky and you actually went red and you got an AMD, AMD actually gives supports for their motherboards for newer versions of CPUs, like very far down the line. So we are stuck with, if you actually have an XT, that means that the AM4 can run all the XTs up to all so that is 5th generation. So that is huge to actually being able to upgrade your CPU while still maintaining everything else in your machine. So my guess is that if I only upgraded my CPU, that thing was cheap. Here in Argentina, it was like a huge ripoff, but the actual price of that CPU is like $300, and that's it. And you have double everything with Unreal Engine. So I would encourage everyone, instead of going and getting a new GPU, actually get a new CPU for your machine and let your GPU to actually spread its legs a little bit more and have like a better result just by, throwing a bit of money. Like that is, I don't know, maybe if you want to risk and buy like an Intel Arc, like a GPU, I wouldn't do that because, I don't know how that thing is going to react with Unreal Engine. I know that actually AMD is not as great for Unreal Engine. So you are like stuck. You need to have like an NVIDIA, as far as I know, to run Unreal Engine, the good way. So yeah, we're stuck with whatever video card that we are owning right now. All right, it's still killing me. Like these loading times with the hard drive struggling at this, it's actually giving me a hard time. So while this thing is trying to open up, I want to actually show you something about optimization. We still have like 15 more minutes in the live. So let's actually do that. And I can actually showcase also the speed of my, of the compilation. So let me show you what I'm going to do. So I told you that now this D drive, it's just for Unreal Engine. So I have here the global DCC and the vol cache, right? So everything is here. And also I have all my projects in one disk. So this is the disk that is actually struggling right now. So even though it's struggling, I'm going to see if I can actually do something crazy. I want to open this tropical island. So what I'm going to do is actually grab this content, and this is going to be really crazy, but it might work. So I'm going back to my D drive, Unreal Engine projects. I'm going to create a new folder that is going to be jungle. It could be any name. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be pasting this content here. How much time it's going to take. So hopefully it's not going to be a huge amount of time. All right. Well, this thing is doing that. I need a good config and a good U project that actually have everything running for Unreal Engine 5. So I know that this always, I think I have it fully prepared. I think it has Lumen and everything. So what else do I have here? I'm going to be using the ones that I use for class. So let me open this one. So I'm going to copy the config and this U project also into this jungle stuff. And I'm just going to be renaming this to jungle. That's it. So this is going to be like a new project that should be opening. And this config should have everything, Lumen, temporal, super resolution, etc., etc. So this should work. All I need to do now is to wait for these to finish copying. So I would never thought that I was going to complain about the speed of an NVMe. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. This thing is running slow.
It's not an SSD. It is on an NVMe slot, but it's not an SSD. It's a hard drive.
So you think that is considered SATA speed then, because of that?
It is. Yeah. It's as you had the task manager open, it set the serial number of the disk. If you want to open it again, I can Google what disk that is. But
Here?
I saw, yeah. So that is a WE10 ECEX.
I think this is actually connected on an NVMe, not the SATA.
Yeah, but that's a hard drive. It's not an SSD. It's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter to which slot is being applied to.
It's one of those tiny NVMEs. I'm sure. This one.
I don't think the D disk is. I think your C disk is the NVMe.
Oh, maybe it's like that.
You see how it says SSD on the C disk and it says HDD on the D?
Oh, then that is what is happening.
Your NVMe is where your Windows installation currently is. And it's also...
No, wait. This one is USB.
That is something outside of your computer. That's your external disk.
No,
yes.
This one is in this. Oh, this says
That's
HDD.
a storage disk that you have, which is not an NVMe. And then your C is your NVMe, which is an SSD.
Oh, I see. So this is, well, this is the thing. This NVMe, because it's actually, I remember when I brought it, it was an NVMe, but it's connected through a card and a PCI card. So maybe that is actually making it tons slower.
I don't think it is. Are you sure?
Yeah. I can take a picture.
I don't think something that is not an SSD can be an NVMe slot.
In a PCI, yeah. You have NVMe PC cards to connect NVMEs. Now, I might actually bought like a very cheap one. Maybe that is the issue.
PCIe. I don't. Yeah. I've never seen this before, but if you say it exists,
PCI.
Actually exists.
I
think. Yeah. I think I see what you mean.
This thing, I have one of these.
Yeah. Okay. But then, what kind of disk do you have that it's not? I think we're getting confused. I don't think your E disk is an NVMe at all. It doesn't make sense because if it's a hard drive, which is like the big chunker, it doesn't fit in there.
No.
And I don't think
I have no mechanical drives in this machine right now. There is nothing mechanical. Even the one that is connected on the on the back it's an actual solid state.
All right. right, then why is it saying hard drive on your e-disk,
Maybe
on
it's
your new
because
disk?
of this card. Maybe I need to actually take a look because the one that I have jumpers. I didn't touch anything there, but it actually have a little bit of. It looks more like. It looks more like this one. It
Very strange.
it actually have two of those, and it has
Mm.
some jumpers and stuff that you can actually change. Maybe if I actually go and peruse how to actually make it better, it will actually work. I think that is the actual issue. Why is so slow? You can see that this thing is still trying to open. So in the meantime, I'm going to actually open this jungle stuff so I can show you something. First, we are going to be able to actually see the 24 threads doing some shader compilation. That is going to be fun. Right now, it's submitting the global shader DCC request. So let's see how much time this thing actually takes once it start. Yep, it started. Now we can actually see all of those beautiful. It is still not showing here, but you're going to see really soon that this thing is going to be swarm. Again, this has diminishing results. When you have 6 cores, 12 threads, it actually uses 10 of those threads because there is an actual, in the default engine ini, the one that is in your Unreal Engine installation, there is one file that actually holds that setting where you actually say, don't use 100% of your threads, because if you do that, then when Unreal Engine is trying to turn on, you are not going to be able to watch like a YouTube video or something. It's going to be stuck, like completely frozen. So it actually always lets you with a couple of cores left. So you can actually do stuff while Unreal Engine actually compiles. But the thing is that if you have more cores, now I have 24, then because it's percentage-wise, then it actually only uses, I think, like 16, 18, but it leaves you with like 5 to 6 cores empty. So you can actually go to that particular file and you can edit it and you can actually set it hard, right? Like use from my 24, use 20 and give me 4 back, right? And that way you should compile a lot faster. Now this thing, I think it's a complete mistake what I'm doing. Like trying to, oh, this thing actually opened. Finally. All right, let's actually run a little bit of, so again, everything cinematics and just global illumination to high. Because again, you won't notice too much of these, but these actually it's the night and day difference. Anything else won't actually be a huge change, but yeah, global illumination actually eats up a lot. So let's actually check it out. So where is my video? So let me go back, and still a little bit back. Oh, there we are. So the city one was this one. So again, it's almost at the end. And there it is. So this thing, it's running 12. So, all right, now I remember. Everything was running 12. So, right? And now, and again, am I full screen? I'm full screen, so let's actually replicate that. Now I'm running 38. This is crazy. 40, 40, 39, 41, this 42. This is completely bonkers. I'm jumping from 12 to 40. So it's crazy. And again, it's just a CPU, a cheap CPU. This CPU is 4 years old. And it was sold new. It's not used. But it is a 4-year-old technology. And that's why it's very cheap, again. But yeah, I'm so happy that it was like a light, that illuminate me when you told me that you swapped your CPU. I was like, maybe I should do that. How much would I get out of Unreal Engine by just adding, a couple of bucks into the machine? And look at this. I'm so happy. This thing has never, ever run this fast. This is the same this thing now should start compiling shaders. Did you finish already? Oh, we missed it. Yep. No. We missed it. It already finished all the shaders. Well, all right. That is good. So yeah, I'm happy with like the same happened with the Matrix, the Valley of the Ancients, the Electric Dreams also had like a huge jump in terms of optimization. That being the one that is running the worst because it's simply too much, too many leaves everywhere. But yeah, let me actually do the next. So I'm gonna be turning this off, and I'm gonna be opening this tropical jungle pack. Let's go to the map because I want to show you something that I think you're going to be interested in. So I think the showcase is the one that I want to open. All right, there we go. This one is not, the most realistic jungle there is, but it is actually pretty nice. It is not awful. So first of all, I'm going to be doing myself a good, a solid, and that's going to be going to my post-processing volume and ensure that my exposure, this thing is crazy. Set these to 1, but I'm going to need to actually raise it up here. All right, around there is going to be good. So 4, 5, that's good. Now we're not going to have that. Oh, yeah, this is going to be hard outside here, but here it's going to be fine. All right, so good. Let me show you. Oh, this thing. Remember this? These are the black textures of death. I know now how to fix them. So the thing is, when Real Engine is loading the map maps, it actually crap the bed and don't do the map maps and leaves you with like a wrong map map. So the only thing that you should do is you need to go to your content and you need to search for textures. And if you find some that are like these, like black, you just need to select them and save them. You don't need to actually open them up. Just by selecting them and hitting Control S, that actually fixes everything. It's still, a bit of a thing to actually go and fix stuff that should not be broken in the first place. But if this is the actual price, if we need to dance, we dance. So this is still not right. So what is here? There are a few more. Oh, this one? Yep. Did I miss? Yeah. This one also. What else? Oh, a couple here and a couple there. And so what gives? Oh, all right. So you need to select them to actually, all right, that's good. All right, let me show you the biggest trick of optimization that there is. And it has to do with shadows. And it has to do with those beautiful virtual shadow maps. Virtual shadow maps is a very clever technology. You wouldn't believe how clever it is. So let me fix this update. All right. And the thing with virtual shadow maps is that there are that last piece of technology that was added to Unreal Engine 5 that is not as good as what we had before. The normal shadow maps are faster, but they're not as good looking, right? So that is the big trade-off here. So you're going to get something that is perfect in terms of the context of these shadows are incredible. Like you can come really near to something and you get more and more and more resolution. Like you wouldn't believe that this is this far, right? And then as soon as it starts growing, that shadow, on a distance, it start blurring it out, right? And it looks so good. So there is a price to pay for this, right? Let me just run by these like very fast so you know how these actually work. So if you go to your virtual shadow maps, the first line of defense of the virtual shadow maps is the clipping. And this was actually blatantly stolen from Cascade maps. So all of these, circles around you, it's a 16K map that holds all that texture information. So all that shadow information, right? So this one is 16K, that one is 16K, the one that is over there is 16K. So, and they are very dynamic. So if you move away or really close, you start creating more and more of those, right? So this thing here is a 16K shadow map that is right here in front of you. That's why this thing is perfect, right? In terms of the actual quality. Like you wouldn't even notice, right, that there are switching from one to the next. So this is really clever, right? But then you start thinking like these dudes are actually loading, at least 10 of these, depending on the actual size and how far you can see in the distance. So the thing is how to handle this whole amount of information, right? So that is the next level. If you go to your virtual shadow map, you're finding that this thing has a virtual page. And this was blatantly stolen from virtual textures. So the virtual texture maps are being held in an actual virtual texture. And this is what you see here. So these are pages. Each and every one of these is 128 pixels. And if you come near, you're going to have more and more and more. So this is exactly what Nanite does. It's the same technology in terms of the clusters of Nanite are going to be 128 triangles, right? And if you go near, it will create more clusters, so you get more triangles in, right? The same is going to happen with virtual shadow maps. So that makes them so very good, but there is something on top of this. So this page is great because if you're not looking at part of this, so if it is occluded or if it is behind or outside the first room of your camera, you're not loading those pages. So you're just paying for what you see, which is crazy, right? So that is like the best price that you can pay for something, just what you see. But this has something on top of it that makes them, or should make them, perfect, because these, up to this point, is still very hard to actually produce and render. And that is the actual cache page. And this is where everything goes south. And it goes south because of something that Unreal Engine provides, but none of the actual marketplace content creators from Unreal Engine actually use. And that is that, if you're selling trees, you want them to be moving, right? You need to have the world position offset. And that makes everything looks very good and very nice, but you're paying a huge price on shadows because of them. Because on a normal situation, if you come around here where nothing has world position offset or pixel offset or anything, you can see that this thing looks gray. And that is the color that you want this particular view mode to be. So if it's gray, it means that your shadow is being 100% cache. And that thing is, not being recalculated on every cycle of your CPU, right? This is what you want. Only if you start, looking around, you might get those red, things that you barely saw there. It's Unreal Engine actually switching, loading a bigger page, or it's loading a different, concentric circle of a 16K, full map here, right? So you can see that the cache happens like really fast. So it's going to be completely unnoticeable. Now, what means here is that this shadow is baked. So we're actually baking shadows dynamically in Unreal Engine. This is nonsense. This is like the best technology that there is. Now, the thing is that when you look at this side, now it's completely broken. Now, this is not working. If it's blue, it means that you're in trouble. It means that the actual cache, it's being invalidated. So it is invalidated because of a very silly thing. If you actually take a look, I'm going back to lit. If you actually take a look at some place around here, you can see that those shadows are moving. And that means that because you have a WP, world position offset, your shadow is moving and you cannot cache it. So this shadow is actually being recast and recache every time, every cycle of your CPU, which, actually throws down the board everything good that the actual virtual shadow map can actually produce. So there is a decision to make. Well, you can actually turn this off for everything in your scene. So let me show you how that would look. Let's actually grab some of these that we can actually take a good look at it. I think this is the one. First of all, let me actually bring one of these ferns in, so we actually have something to work with. So let me search for. Oh, there is a fern here. So let me drop it around here. All right, that's good. So we can actually see that moving there, right? So this is what we don't want, right? We can actually be very blunt at this and saying, well, I want the. So you can select your actor and turn off WPO, but that would be the blunt way, the most blunt way of actually doing this. So you can go to WPO, world position offset. Am I crazy? Oh, it is not WPO, it's world position offset. All right, you can actually turn it off. But yeah, now you're gonna be living in the place where there is no wind and it's not gonna be dynamical. And even though the world position offset is actually very cheap and crude looking, it actually gives your scene a bit of it's dynamic. It looks, that there is something moving there. So it's not a pretty picture, right?
Yeah.
So the thing here is that you can actually take this measure, but it's horrible, right? Now, the other thing that you can do is you can type invalidation. Here it is. So on Lighting Advanced, you have the shadow cache invalidation behavior. So what you can do is actually take the executive decision of saying, I want this shadow to be rigid. Static. And I think, is it? It is not. What is happening? Oh, wait. Rigid? Always? Nope. Static. Huh. Oh, maybe I'm being very foolish. And these are ray trace shadows. Let me just take a look. Again, I copied the config, so this might be a little bit wrong. So what we should be seeing here is the actual shadows being static. Even though the mesh is moving, the shadow should be static and not being invalidated. So let me go to rendering and take a look what is happening here. First is virtual shadow map. That is good. Secondly, am I running, what type of shadow am I running here? Oh, I have megalights on. Maybe that is the issue. No. Say what? I'm setting this bush to be static. Rigid, maybe? Huh. All right, I need to investigate just very fast. But this should actually be working because, yeah, megalights is not compatible with directional light, and I know that what I have here is an actual directional light. So that is not the actual issue. And this is virtual shadow map. Oh, maybe the light. Yeah, maybe it's the actual directional light. Let me check out this. What kind of shadow are you drawing? Yeah, it's project settings. So it should be, in fact, it is actually virtual shadow maps. So again, I don't know why this is happening, but let me test it here, just for fun. So let's drop this fern here, and we can see that the shadow is moving. If I search for invalidate and set to be static, all right, so here it works. Maybe because this shadow had other shadows around it that were invalidating the cache, like this one was not invalidated. So you had to actually choose like all the static meshes in your scene and actually do this. But now this thing is a little bit uncanny. You have your mesh moving and swaying, but you have a completely static shadow. So you could call it quits at this point. You can actually come here and go to your virtual cache page, and you can see that, yeah, everything is great. Everything is the color you want. You can see the difference. If I switch these to be auto, you can see that these cache here, these pages here are invalidated, and they are actually being calculated every frame, which is not what you want. Or at least you don't want to pay that price if you are over here. Like, yeah, look at the size of the invalidation. Can you really see that swaying in that bush at this distance? This is what you need to fix. This is what is not getting used by any of the marketplace content creators. And it is the key to actually have something that looks great and you pay just the price for it. So this is the secret behind everything. Instead of being blunt and changing, either blocking the WPO or actually making your invalidation to be rigid or static, which will make them to look completely static. What you want is, and these should be on by default on all the maps that you download, but it's not like that. So you're gonna type world position offset and world. So there is, you have a world offset distance, disabled distance, and this is what you should be playing with. So you're gonna stand at a particular distance where you're not caring about this thing swaying or not, right? And you must wanna give yourself a little bit of space. You're gonna see why. And you're gonna start doing 200. All right, that's too much. 100, that's too much. 50, really? Oh, this is very close. So you want to actually add tons.
Units are centimeters. So 50 centimeters.
So maybe this is 10 meters. All right. So now it is great. It is green. So what this means is that that auto behavior that it have, it will actually convert it into something that is cache. But Unreal Engine is going to be waiting for it to at some point stop being cache. So that is what green means. So blue is really bad. Green is good at a distance. Now, if I start come near to this stuff, it's gonna start being dynamic. Now it's non-dynamic. Now you can see that this is why you need to give yourself a little bit of space because it will pop. And that is a sad thing that still happens. So if you go a little bit away and you come near, you can see it pops. So that is not what you want. If they fix this should be perfect, but we still have this popping. So you want to give yourself a little bit more space. So maybe 5,000. So if this thing is far away enough, the pop is going to happen, but you're going to be so far away that you're not going to care. So maybe around here, maybe this is 2,000. What about 3,000? All right, that is good. So now if I come here, around here, it pops. But yeah, maybe it's far enough, and you're going to have enough stuff around where you're not going to care, right? Now, this is the actual way to go. So let me actually load back our level, and we're mostly finished here. So don't you worry. Let's go map. Let's go showcase, and don't save this. So this is the cool thing. If all of these foliage, so most of these foliage, let's do a little bit of optimization here. So first I'm going to be turning off everything that is foliage. So you can see that there are a couple of trees and stuff here that are actually static meshes, and they are invalidating the stuff. So you need to actually take care of that. So at this point, you can be blunt into selecting all actors here. So I'm going to be selecting these. Oh, come on. Selecting these. And I'm going to go select. And I want to select all static mesh actors, because again, I can actually make sure that these work. So for all of them, even if there are or not implementing world position offset, I want it off at 3,000 units. And that's it. If you're really far away, they're all completely static, and you're not paying for that shadow being invalidated, or even for the WPO, because that is another thing. If you actually go to Nanite, it actually have like two routes it has the faster route and it has the slow route. So everything that actually implements WPO runs on the slower one. And you can actually take a look at that if you check the actual Nanite visualization has an actual visualization mode for evaluate world position offset. That's why it's very important. It actually have an actual visualization mode for it. So now if you come near, you can see that they start turning on. So now you're paying the price for this one, both in Nanite and in virtual shadow maps. This is why this is very important. Now you're gonna see that for static meshes is really easy. You just select them all and you set the thing there and that's it. Now what about instance foliage actors? Well, you need to go up here, go to your foliage and select all your different foliage. Everything is gonna go and you're gonna go down until you find the instance settings. And if you go down a little bit on advanced, you're gonna find that there is world position offset, disable distance. Did we say 3000? That's it. Now you can see that at a distance, now nothing is implementing world position offset. This is what is missing. You're not going to find this world position offset distance on anything that you download from the marketplace. And it's just selecting, setting it, and now you're running twice the FPS. I tell you, it's like that. It's that much that you can actually save by implementing this. And again, you're not going to be living in the non-win zone because if you go near enough, you can see that this distance, you don't care, right? But now if you go around here, you see your, tree moving, the other tree down here is moving. The one back there, you don't care. You don't want to pay the price for that one. You want to pay the price for the ones that are really close, to your camera. And this is the secret of running a very fast virtual shadow map. And it's just as simple as adding that little distance. Now, it would be very good if Epic actually implemented like one console command that could do that globally. There is simply not that. There is one command, but it works for something different. That is not that. Kind of what you want, but it's not what you want. You first need, for that to actually work, you need to assign an actual distance threshold for the WPO to not, intervene. But yeah, that is where we are. And I think that this is, also amazing that we can do this kind of optimization tricks in Unreal Engine. Now, Nanite is happy. Virtual Shadow Map is happy. I'm guessing that even Lumen might be a little bit happy, even though Lumen actually uses the Lumen scene. So that thing is using mesh distance fields for it. So that might not be happy. But for the rest, Nanite and Virtual Shadow Maps are the happiest campers if you have this thing like this. All right, that's it. That was what I wanted to showcase today. Celebrate the new CPU and celebrate that now we know how to run very good Virtual Shadow Maps. All right.
Fantastic.
So that's it. Maybe people never came because they thought that this was like an April 1st joke.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't care. Like people actually see the, like we are reviving the channel because each and every live that we do, the actual visualization of the recording version of the live gets more views. Like we're having like 60, like 40, then 60, then 100. The next one has like 140. So this thing is creeping back up. So slowly, but surely.
Let's go.
All right, that's it. I'm going to leave you to your meetings and I'm going to go eat some pizza.
Yeah, same.
All right. Thank you very much for coming today, Franco.
All right, brother.
Let's talk. We need to actually discuss a couple of things. So
we're gonna meet this Sunday. I'll be heading your way this Sunday.
All right, that is amazing. I will wait for you here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and as usual, be good to each other. Have a great night and see you on the next one. Bye bye.